So, this week I read a high number of books. So, I'm going to start out by telling you about the first book that I read. It was an ARC book, it was on my Kindle, and I mentioned it briefly last week, and that is Our Little Cruelties by Liz Nugent. And I really did enjoy the book. There were highs and lows. There were a couple of times where I thought the characters were irredeemable, so annoying. I didn't like them. I also didn't like the way it was written out, because it was written in a way where it was each part or each chapter was a part of the character's life, but it wasn't in a linear structure. And I don't like it when it's not a linear structure. If it's not a linear structure, then there tends to be a reason for that, such as giving out definite needed information at the right time. And with this book, I just didn't feel as though that was the case. They didn't really give any specific reason. It didn't give anything more having it that way. It just seemed a bit pointless, because then I basically found myself struggling to actually know at what point things happen, like what information has already happened and what is yet to come from what we already know, because none of it was in a correct structure. And I feel as though if it was linear, I'd have understood it more and I'd have been more enticed, because I wouldn't have spent all of my time trying to figure out who was knowing what at what point and what had happened, what the distance between the brothers were all like, and what had caused that at that point, because it happened throughout their lives, and having to constantly look back and check what had happened before or after, it was just very confusing. And I got to the end of it. I really enjoyed it. I found out which brother was in the coffin. I found out why, and it was tense. That last part of the book got very tense. It all started happening very quickly, and it was a great book. Absolutely loved it. I give a bit of a short review on Bookstagram and on Goodreads, so check those out. It was a very good book. Loved it. Coming out soon, so would absolutely recommend when it comes out. Now, the next book is the audiobook I've been listening to, and that is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And I have to be honest, I haven't really got that far into the book. I've said with it being an audiobook, I struggle, so I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to actually get through it. But at the same time, I am really enjoying it. It's different. I don't really do audiobooks, and I'm really enjoying this one. But this week, I did my 24-hour readathon. So all of my time was spent focusing on that. It was spent finishing Our Little Cruelties, and then as soon as that ended, it was focusing on this readathon. And then since the readathon, it has been just constant editing, really, so I've not really had time to listen to it. So I plan on starting that back up now that the readathon's finished, but I do also have one more book that I need to start this week, and that is Claire McIntosh, I See You. Because that is the last book on my TBR, so I need to get that done before the end of the month so that I can include it in the wrap-up and that I completed all of the books on my TBR. So, now on to the final books of this week. I read... Oh, I've just dropped them all. That's kind of classic. I read The Saga of Darren Shan. This was part of my 24-hour readathon. I read all of these books in the time allotted, and that was certainly something. I can't talk about each of these books individual. We'd be here for over an hour. Also, don't really remember each of these books. Like, anything past midnight, they all just kind of blurred into one. So, loved it. Absolutely would recommend. The readathon video is going up on Friday, so check out for that. You will see me slowly go insane. And other than that, and Our Little Cruelties, and not really making my way through To All the Boys I Loved Before, that is all I've done this week. So, not really done much. Very short, but it has been a very intense reading week. And now that we're in isolation, I plan on reading a hell of a lot more. So, we will see. So that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I post every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday, and with us being stuck in our homes for a while, that may change. I may post quite a few more during that time. I may extend it, But if I do extend it, I will announce it at some point. I guess we're just going to have to cope and see. So if you enjoy these videos, please let me know what videos you want to do, because if I do end up doing loads more, I will need ideas because I hadn't planned for it. But please, yes, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. So until next time, see you later.